Hello, dear students. I would like to welcome you on the page of Shikhavati International Academy Seeker. I hope you all are doing well. This poem is class 12th, and this is the first poem, My Mother at 66, written by Kamala Das. Kamala Das is a Indian poetess. Now, poet, if a male is there and the female is, we will it is known as poetess. So here, the Kamala Das is a poetess. So, what we will going to first read the introduction of this great poetess. Uh, 1934 was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is recognized as one of the Indian foremost poetess. Like those poets who are so famous, she recognized among them. She is her name, her fame is so appreciable. Her works are known for the originality, versatility. Versatility means shandar, great, and the indigenous flavor of the soil. Indigenous means the local flavor you can find in her work, in work of arts. Means that whatever the poems, whatever the stories you will read it, you will feel a local culture, a feel of culture you would see. Kamala Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name of Madhvikutti. Some of her works in English includes the novel Alphabet of Lust 1977, a collection of short story Padmavati, The Harlot and Other Stories 1992, in addition to 5 books of poetry. So you can see that these were her Indian as well as the international piece of work which she had made in different years in her life. Now here she is sensitive writer who captured the complex subtleties of human relationship in lyrical idioms. So now she actually talk about the relationship between humans with their loved ones. She is trying to show the the real feel of the relationship between the among the people for each other. My mother at 66 is an example. So here in this poem as well as you would see a feel of relationship between between two people, especially the poetess as well as her mother, who is 66-year old, a granny or a, or an old lady. Now, before going to start, just read this. Aging is a natural process. Have you ever thought what our elderly present parents expect from us? Now, aging means that as person grow, the ages also grow. And here, when at the point, then person is not able to do something by her or him by his own self, then it requires some expectation from their children. As if I talk about my parents, if they are going to get at the age of above 60, so it means that they require a bondage or a family, a very their known, their acquaintance who can support them, who can take care of them. Here in this poem, what is their expectation? They want their take care, they want love, they want affection, they want respect from their children. This is the old people desire. They do not have desire to have money, to have property, to have luxury life. No, they want only the supportness, the family background, and all these things they are required. Now here, what is actually in this poem? In this poem, you would see, my dear students, that in the Kamala Das, she is now married, and now what happened? She has a number of responsibility, number of duties in her paternal home, like where she has right now home, that in her husband, in her husband home, there were many responsibility, many duties. She had to do lots of work over there. But along with it, a very sensitive relation is also attached, which is her own mother, who is living apart, who is living separate, who is living in in solitude. She is totally lonely. But unfortunately, the poetess could not help her own mother in this condition, as the she the mother was becoming old and old, getting very aged. She required a great foundation. She required a family, their own, their children. This is only her desire, but unfortunately Kamala Das cannot fulfill this desire, as she has number of responsibility that the husband can't allow. It is really, it's bitter truth that the husband of a girl never allow in his life to adopt or to settle their parents in his house. No, it can't be, because it becomes a matter of selfishness, which is so rude, which is so narrow minded of mentality. But after all, it is bitter truth. Now here, now she Kamala Das had gone to visit her own house, her mother house, for a vacation, for a small period of time. She spent a great piece of time with her mother, where she got the birth, where she the village where she was brought up, where she was learned number of things, where her mother also living. She spent some day, and now it's time to be a separation. It's a time to be apart from each other. Now mother as well as the daughter will both apart from each other. But here, what type of feel that Kamala Das had observed from the separation, when the separation is taking place, as this was the last day, and now the Kamala Das and her mother both were going to airport, Kochi airport, and her mother was there just because of to drop her, as it was the last day. And now what would be the relation? They both remain mum. They didn't talk to each other while they were going from their village to the city, Kochi, for the airport, for taking their flight. As she need to take the flight, so she went there. And whole journey from village to the airport, what she experienced, we will come to know in this point. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out. A young tree sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes, but after the airport security check standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan pale as a late winter moon, and felt that old family ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. So this is the point. This is the his feeling, his verdict. Now read it with full of explanation, each and every single word in this poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. So now they both were traveling through a car from their village, from her hometown, from her birthplace to the Cochin airport. And she was not alone. She was with the company of her mother as well, as who was sitting just beside her. Doze means almost in sleep. She was almost closed her eyes, open mouth. While she was asleep, her mouth was closed like that. Her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain. Now here, my dear students, corpus is a kind of a word which is used for the dead body. Now here, she looks like, while closing her eyes and open the mouth and like remain motionless without any movement, just she was in this condition, and it looks like that she is a dead body. There is no movement, as she was the poetess was feeling so fear, because the mother of the lady was not moving. It looks like that she is a kind of a dead body. And now, doze means sleep. and her face action like that. Action like means her face turned into black to yellow, or a brown to yellow, yellowish color means a colorless face was there. At it happens when the person is very too much close to death, or after death the colors of the skin change into yellowish pale, and this was the color, this was the situation the poetess want to say to us. Realize with pain, and realize with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put the thoughts away. And now I was thinking in my mind, now the day has so close to so close, because now she is pretending, now she is becoming motionless, the energy, the power, she is almost lost, and now she is so close to her death. And as she is growing, as she is aging day by day, she is becoming more older and older. So that's why she is thinking, and while she was thinking, she want to distract, she wanted to herself distract from this subject of her mother who was in this condition. Now what she did, what the poetess did, put the thoughts away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. So what she did, as she was watching, she was constantly watching her mother, and now she is trying to distract her mind. So what she did, she just changed her face and looked at the outside from the car. Inside the car, she was having one concept, one mindset, one thinking, one imagery of her mother, who was pretending like, who was behaving like, who was looking like so motionless, so lifeless, like the interest of life almost gone from her, and now she is looking like a corpus. Corpus is a dead body, open mouthed, doors, and like the color of the skin was totally lost. So this was, so what she did, what she saw outside from the window of the car, tree, young tree sprinting. Sprinting word is for running, sprinters who runs professionally, fast running. Now what she saw, when she saw through the window, she saw that the trees were sprinting along with the car, the merry children spilling out their homes. But after the airport security check, now here, these two imaginary, you can see, the young tree sprinting and the merry children. Merry means happy, joyful children. Spilling means moving around, running around out of their homes. They were coming out from their home. Now here, what she saw through the window, she saw that the trees were running along with the car, as it happens, as it looks from inside that the trees are also running. You have seen in many number of times when you travel by different mode of transportation, whether it is car, whether it is bike, whether it is bus or train, it looks like that the objects which are outside, through the car or through their mode of vehicle, it looks like that the objects are also moving along with them, but it never happened. Actually it is all about the our imagination, it is all about our visibility. And the merry children were spilling out of their home. But these were the two simple things, but it has a very great or very deep meaning. These two images, these two images symbolize something. What these symbolize, please pay attention on these words. The young tree sprinting. Now here, the poetess had observed that there is a meaning behind this activity. Actually, these are the ages which are running so fast. This is a human ages which is running so fast. The trees which are sprinting, they are not tree, they are the ages. They are the ages of human which running so fast. She even didn't know that how her mother had become so old, how fast her mother had become so old. She even didn't know. She was saying that it was so fast, so accelerating, so pacing. her age was rising very fastly, so she even didn't know about it. And the merry children spilling out of their homes. Now here, merry children means that the happiest children, the prosperous children, the children who have a great fond or great interest of living their life with full of enjoyment. But on the other hand, the mother of the poetess have sit lifeless, no desire of life, no desire of interest, no desire of their favorite hobby. She has given up. She has lose everything. She is just sit mum. She is just wandering in her own deep senses. She is just taking breathe. She is like a dead body. She is just living, but from inside she is totally dead. These are the two words meaning. The tree sprinting means the ages are running so fast. These are the human ages. She symbolize the tree sprinting means that these are the ages. These are the example of ages, human ages which run so fast. We don't know. Last year, like 5 years, we were something else, but now we are something else. Our behavior, our expression, our way of speak, our way of talk or walk, everything changed according to time. And like if you remember your last moments, like we met this person recently, but it becomes so many ages. Now here, now you can imagine, my dear students, now in 5 years, the previous 5 years, what you were and now what you are. 5 years you were in which standards and now you are in which standards. It's in a short period of time. The time runs so fast. The time means the time is unpredictable. The time runs so fast. So we have to look so consciousness towards the time. Now here, and married children are the examples which represent the people have zeal. The children are so happy just because of they have interest. They have a great interest to play, to live the life, to live each and every moment of their life, to have great enjoy in their life. But the mother had given up, had lost the hope to live due to some reason, as what she had desired. She had desired how she would be look happy, as she had been living for a long period of time with loneliness. She was she wanting everything, but now she has nothing except one house. She had a desire to have a great time, a sense of time with the grandchildrens, with the her own daughter, as well as the daughter in the husband of her daughter as well. As so she wanted as a type of atmosphere where those people who really love her, respect her, and have a care about them. As when the poetess mother was young, she looked after her daughter very carefully, very nicely, very systematically, with full organization, to organize all the things she managed. But now, when it comes the matter of the daughter to play her role, to look after her own mother, she was failed. She was refused. She was thinking that this is my compulsion. She can't do. But being a human, being a daughter or son, it's our responsibility to return all the works which is not beatable. We can't beat the love, the care which our parents had given us. We can't return the 5% of their take care, their bringing up, because they had done everything with their 100% heartiness, with 100% of their interest, and we are little bit fail to do this thing. But somehow we have to take the initiative to look after our parents. This is the all thing which poetess want to teach us, that now she is regretting, because she was under the pressure of her lost family. They are not allowed to take this old lady into their house and live together. No, but now you have the responsibility. Now you have the clear vision. If the girls are going to get married with the future, so they had to share this thing. They had to keep this thing. Once my mother and my father will be alone in this world, when nobody will be there for take care, I'll be their son. Whether I'm a daughter, but I'll look after them as a son, as a daughter, for till their life. So This is the meaning of the poem. Here, now finally they had reached the airport. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards, few steps, they were standing with each other, few steps of distance away. I looked again at her. Now we have left the car. Now it's time for the security check. So I again spread my eyes on my mother's face, which was wan and pale. Wan means weak and pale means colorless, no expressionless, as a late winter moon, and felt that old familiar ache. Now her face was resembling with the late winter moon. It is also a simile. Now, my dear students, simile is a kind of a figure of speech when in a sentence, when the two things are compared with like or as, this is known as simile. So here you could see as is a word which is used for the winter moon. How? Now a lady is a living things and moon is a non-living things. But if a living things person is given a quality of non-living things, that is known as simile. So here winter moons means her face is looking or resembling or copy with the same condition of the winter moons, because winter is hidden behind the clouds, behind the fog. In the winter you could see the fog as well as the clouds are so thick, so the shine, moon is, remember, moon is lightning, but the shining of the moon disappear. The same thing is happen, that the mother is, you could see the face, she is alive, but the shyness, the meaning of life, that the meaning of live the life was gone, the shining was gone, that the interest, the desire to live more, that desire, that interest had disappeared from her face, and same looks like a moon of winter. And it was a familiar ache, my childhood fear. And now I suddenly remember that in my childhood fear, I used to fear that my mother would never leave me in this life. But now I am at the age I had to be leave my mother. And this is a familiar ache. Ache means pain. So this was the pain which I, in my early days, in my childhood days, I used to think that when I am going to be married, my mother would leave me, my mother would discard me, as she will send me in the strange person house. But now the same pain I could feel again, that I don't want to lose, but I had to be constant on, I had to be refrain on my words, on my condition. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. And at the end, what I could say, I only said that, okay, see you soon, Amma. I'm going to leave, I'm going to depart. And all I did was smile and smile and smile. These are the figure of speech again. This is a repetition of the words, not alphabets, not the single word, single alphabet. The whole word is again and again repeating. That is called repetition. The figure of speech is repetition. Now here two figure of speech we have found. Now let me find some other figure of speech which are here. From my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open, mouth, her face ashen like that of a corpse. I realized with the pain that she was as old as the she looked, but soon put the thoughts away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. Now this is a imaginary, the young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. Now a collection of words which gives you a kind of illusion, such a kind of imagination. Take your mind, take your things into a different situation, that is called imaginary. So it is a symbolized or imaginary as well as image. Just standing a few years again at her, when pale in 12 old familiar and childhood fear, but all I said was, see you soon. And smile, smile, smile. Now here repetition as well as now here. Thoughts away. Put the thoughts away. And again this words is represented here. No, it's not coming. Now here these are the figure of speech, and now this is the all story, all kind of a poem which I have discovered, which I have explained you. Now I hope you have understood it. Now moving to the question. What is the kind of pain and act that poet feels? The pain to be separate, and the pain she was going to apart from each other. This is the pain that she can't be bear, but she has to be. This is the poet feels. Why are the young trees described as sprinting? The sprinting means here the trees are symbolized as the ages of a human, ages of the time, as how fast these ages grows, the human ages grows. And now this is the word which is sprinting so fast in a it looks like now the lady was so young, but now suddenly she has become at the age of 60. She has crossed the age of senior citizen, and now at the age of, now at the stage of death, she is so close to her death, because as she was behaving, as she was, seems that her eyes were remain closed, her mouth remain open, and she looks motionless. Now it looks sometime that she is too much closer to the death. That's the trees are, or the poet was thinking about it. Why has the poet brought in the image of the merry children spilling out of their homes? You know, merry children, they were always desperate to get themselves entertainment by each and every objects, whether it is books, whether it is a toys, whether it is a kind of a moving objects, whatever they find, they feel themselves entertainment and they feel happy with each and every person surrounding. But here these were happy, but on the other hand, on the contrast, the mother was totally opposite of it. The mother had given up, had lost the hope of live more. She was totally fall down in her own soul presence. Her soul is totally, so her soul is dead, and the body was seemings like it can be in few days, in few months she is not going to be more. So this is the thing. Why has the mother been compared to the late winter moon? The same thing is there, the same answer is there, that the late winter moon, or the winter moon, is a symbol of that the sun is lightning, but the lightning has no shining. And the same thing was there on the face of the mother. Her mother face was pale and dull, so weak, so colorless. It gives a memory, it gives a image of winter moon as well as. What do you parting words of the poet and her smile signify? Her parting words, see you soon, Amma, and just because of she had no dare to speak frankly with her mother, and this is a kind of a formality she was performing. And what smile signified? The smile signified to look after you, to look after, to care, to you have to care yourself by your own self, and nobody is going to be there. But this is the smile signify, and she is trying to hide her own pain, her own sadness under the smile. These are the meaning of these two things. Now for, and also this poem doesn't have rhyming scheme, it's a free verse, and now it has no rhyming scheme, only the commas are there. So this is all about the chapter, this is all about the poem. I hope you like the video. Thank you so much, students.